Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What up? Big Hurt 916, getting down with another Prison Talk. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the channel. You don't want to miss out on any of our dope content, so hit the notification button. Also, go to freshoutseries.com, pick up some merch, and wash your ass. We got that wash your ass soap that will have you smelling clean. So pick you up a bar, do the right thing. Nobody likes to smell a funky butt. One of the viewers were asking, will Alec Baldwin get his cheeks busted in prison? Well, Alec Baldwin most likely won't see the inside of a prison cell. Looking at the charges and looking at who's behind his defense, he has Hollywood standing behind him, although he was a big advocate of trying to take away your right to bear arms. Here he is, charged, ironically, with shooting somebody on the set. Somehow gun safety was not followed properly. A gun that Mr. Baldwin was rehearsing with went off, killing the film cinematographer, and the armorer responsible for the weapons on set also faces manslaughter charges. So, for more than a year, actor Alec Baldwin has tried to defend himself against the suggestion that he bore responsibility for the fatal shooting of the cinematographer. And this is something that, they don't want to really talk about because of how things get down on the set with these guns, but there is a chain of command, and usually somebody has to examine the weapon before it's handed off to the actor, and it's a very secure situation. It's not like you're just playing around with the gun, and you're not going to be pointing it at people and doing stuff like that. But somehow, some way, something was misappropriated as far as in the handling process. The charges represent a dramatic culmination of more than a year of speculation over who would be held accountable for the death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins, a rising star in the film industry. Hutchins was shot in the chest October 21st, 2021, as she rehearsed the scene with Baldwin and the film's director, Joe Souza, who was wounded. So they were rehearsing the scene and were shot in the process. Prosecutors also plan to bring involuntary manslaughter charges against the weapons handler, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who loaded the gun. The district attorney says she plans to give the jurors two options for the charges. If convicted under the lesser charge, Baldwin or Gutierrez will face up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine. The district attorney also will ask the jurors to consider a harsher penalty, which carries a mandatory 5 years in prison because the alleged crime involved the use of a firearm. So when you listen and they say that they could face up to 18 months, that's most likely what they're going to be looking at. I don't see them getting a harsher sentence because of just the nature of this situation, and movies, and the whole Alec Baldwin, A-list actor, and he has some people on his side, and he wouldn't be able to handle doing any time significantly behind bars. And he won't have to worry about his cheeks, man. Don't nobody want them old cheeks, man. And I would imagine they would give him some community service and just an extensive probation. New Mexico's first judicial district attorney, Mary Kermack Altwies, announced the charges Thursday, nearly 15 months after Baldwin is alleged to have fired the live round from his prop gun, unaware that the Colt 45 revolver contained live ammunition. Actual bullets are forbidden from film sets. However, investigators later found several other lead bullets mingled with inert dummy rounds. Now, how does that happen? How does live rounds get commingled with fake bullets? Is there more to this story they're not telling us? I'm not gonna put on a tinfoil hat, but I'm gonna ask you guys, leave a comment and tell me what you think and how you feel this situation should best be handled. An accident, gross negligence, somebody purposely brought these bullets to the set. Who knows? But we do know somebody died in the process and somebody was injured. Condolences to the family. And we'll have to see how this plays out, man. Hollywood. He's definitely preparing whatever statements, and the lawyers are preparing whatever defense right now. And we might not hear too much more about this in the news, but I figured I would speak on it since you asked about some cheek busting. But yeah, this guy, I don't see him having to really spend a day behind bars. They probably have a camp program or some type of program where he could check in and leave if anything, but he won't be on any main line or, having to get down with the homies on the yard, any of that stuff like these dudes be talking about. He won't have to face any of that, but he will have to live with himself, which he probably don't have a problem living with himself, having done what he done. But, who knows? Because we haven't heard him make too many statements in regards to the family of the victims. And this has pretty much been kind of hushed up. But that's my take on it. Let me know what you think. If you think that this man should spend time behind bars for his actions, or is a camp situation, slap on the wrist, what do you call it? Community service enough for someone who took somebody's life. Big Herc 916, fresh out.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.
Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said, wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at FreshOutSeries.com.